welcome to the Off Label Podcast, your twice weekly dose of sanity in an insane world. Look, we got some stuff to really go over tonight. Of course, the DOJ released an indictment saying that Tenet Media is Russian propaganda. We'll take a look into all that there. We also got well, Georgia had a somewhat of an incident that we do need to talk about because it seems to be a complete media blackout on this. I have yet to hear much, if anything, be said about the Georgia incident. We may have to pull that to Rumble only, depending on how we feel. But we also got looks like Fani Willis and Nathan Wade are still together, even though in her trial she said, "No, we're not. I ended it way before any of this came about. So what do you got? What are we doing here?" Yeah, we got that. We got what was it? Oh yeah, Russiagate's coming back too, ladies and gentlemen. That actually ties into what I think a little bit of this Tenet Media thing is. But we got more stuff we definitely need to cover. That's going to be Rumble only because of who we are. But let's go ahead and start the show, and we'll get right into it.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing, won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
I'm on pace to hit 365 bodies in 365 days.
Are you fucked? On pace? Really? That's a choice. No guilt Chamberlain over here. She's tracking her dick appointments like they're triple doubles. Her southern borders are letting in more undocumented children than ours. Holy fuck. She's got the whole world in her snatch. She's got the... Sorry about that. And then she says...
Last year, I was excited when I hit 300 in a year. But then this leaves me to think, what am I going to do next year?
Labiaplasty? Probably.
Like, who's your competition in this bopathon? I hate to break it to you, but no matter how well you're doing it, your dad's still not going to care about you.
I feel like when you get out of bed in the morning, your sheet just sticks to your back like a cape. We all know why.
When that happens, do you act like a superhero? Like, I'm Harissa. My superpowers include boobs.
I would say get fucked, cunt, but I think we need to let it breathe for a minute. All right? Merchant's a bio. Okay, bye.
I fucking love that guy.
Barnum is the greatest. He is the fucking greatest. Oh man, hi folks. Welcome to this Thursday edition of Off Label Podcast. If you watch me look that way, it's because the Chiefs are on. It's the first game of the season. Football is back. It is the Chiefs versus the Ravens. I'm just surfing YouTube for the moment, killing time. Just ate. I hope you didn't eat whatever that girl ate, because apparently she ate a lot of children. Hi, Muffin Rando, Don Goff. First, watch out. What's up? What's up, Don? What movie?
Oh yeah, I hit that. Carolyn Hall's here. Jennifer,
Carolyn.
of course, is here. We got I'm Too Tweaked in the house as well.
What up,
Let's
folks?
see. Wild Child, of course. Ooh.
I'm not gonna lie.
First, nothing.
I'm not gonna lie. If a girl has those fucking counterweights on her fucking ears, that look like look like handlebars that you could just
Now, unless this was made in like January 2nd, January 3rd, like, can we talk about how she's on pace to hit 365 people in 365 days? That means she's either being banged when it's that time of the month, or she doubles up on days.
and we wonder why. We wonder why the population is just going downhill. We wonder why the population is just going.
Hey, Carolyn, I missed you too. I've been kind of busy as hell and off doing my own thing. I got Rob listening in the background, so I'll pop in once in a while to say hi to y'all. But let's see, in 5 years, IUD and birth control can stop periods. And that's true. But do we? Do we think
Yeah,
that's
but
happening?
listen, just because they stop periods doesn't mean they stop the fucking bitchiness. Could you imagine her without having her period? She's still a bitch. She doesn't matter. She's still just because she doesn't cramp, she still gets fucking hormonal, and she's still a bitch at the time of the month. So it doesn't really matter. How do I know? My ex-wife had a hysterectomy, and I already knew when it was going to be time for just a bitchy time. Anyway, the Chiefs are on.
Well, while you pay attention to the Chiefs, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember what Russiagate was about back in the day? I say back in the day like it was forever ago.
What Russiagate was about? A bunch of Russian whores pissed on Donald Trump.
Or he pissed on them.
No, they pissed on him.
I don't know. I don't care. It's
Yeah, no, a
whatever.
bunch of
With
Russian-
that situation.
A bunch of Russian whores did some wet work. Don't ask me how I know that. With Donald Trump. But yeah, that's what apparently Russiagate was started about. And then
Well, that was leading off into the Steele dossier that was paid for by Hillary Clinton as an attack because they were running for president together.
And I forgot. I'm sorry. Who else was in on that?
He's been a Russian asset since the 80s, which means he was part of the USSR. Yeah, that was part of it too.
Listen, I understand that, but no.
Look, I've done it before.
No, I don't tweak. I just know what it is. Listen, I'm smarter than most of you.
I was gonna let it go.
I know a lot about a little. I'm like a professor. I know a little about a lot. That's the thing. Like, I know a tiny bit about a lot of things, and that's why, I am how I am. Like, I understand. Like, I had lunch with a gay friend of mine, and I go.
That explains a lot.
And I go, "Are you a top or a bottom?" And he goes, "Excuse me?" I go, "Are you a top or a bottom?" He goes, "That's personal." And I go, "No, you're out here telling everybody you like it in the butt or you like to give it in the butt." So that's more personal than are you a top or bottom? And he just started laughing. Well, it is what it is.
Right.
But, our favorite bottom is being accused of being a Russian spy, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, but I bring up the Russiagate thing just to let you know. They ran it all the way through 2016, all the way through Trump's presidency. He's a Russian spy, blah, blah, fucking blah. He's president. He's caving to the Russians. The narrative is back, ladies and gentlemen, and it's taking a weird route. I'm going to go ahead and hit this right here and just kind of let you guys in on a little bit of let's take it like that. We got to fix this framing. Kind of let you guys in on a little bit of a back history about what we're going to talk about here. It says from Libs of TikTok, as Trump surges in the poll, the Biden admin is now accused of Russian interference accusing Russia of interfering in our elections and taking a series of actions to counter it. Here we go again. Y'all listen to this shit. Let me make sure. Okay.
Breaking news. The Biden administration taking a series of actions to target what they allege are attempts by Russian-backed actors to manipulate public opinion here in the U.S. ahead of the presidential election, according to two senior U.S. officials. Joining us now is NBC's Ken Delanian. Ken, what more have we learned?
Jose, this is being described by our sources as a whole of government action designed to target Russian propaganda and disinformation aimed at interfering in the 2024 election. It is said to include sanctions by the Treasury Department, law enforcement action by the Justice Department, and one of the focuses is on RT, formerly known as Russia Today, that network of Russian government-funded English language websites and television platforms that was flagged all the way back in 2017 by the U.S. intelligence community as a vehicle for Russian disinformation and election interference. And at that time, the Justice Department required RT to register as a foreign agent. It remains to be seen exactly what actions the U.S. will take against RT today, but this does appear to represent an escalation in the efforts to try to purge the system of Russian propaganda.
Oh, this is really important right now because this ties into what's going to happen here.
And disinformation. What's interesting is that, look, the U.S. has been saying all along that not only Russia, but Iran and China, but particularly Russia, has been consistently trying to manipulate American public opinion with disinformation on social media platforms, use of fake accounts, and through RT, through its state-sponsored platforms, as they did in 2016.
But hiring individuals to make propaganda for you is okay, right?
The difference now is that there are mechanisms in place.
Wait a minute. Is it? We'll get there.
Particularly on social media platforms to try.
What? What are you looking at? What are you?
Holy shit.
What's going on?
The YouTube channels of Lauren Chen and Tenet Media have been deactivated one day after DOJ indictment against their alleged Russian handlers has unsealed. Chen has over 571,000 subscribers and years of video content. And when you search Lauren Chen or... Oh, hold on. Oh, shit. I forgot to share this page. When you search Lauren Chen... this is what comes up. And when you search Tenet Media, they're gone.
Let me check. Pull that over.
They're gone, dude. They removed them. Wow. Once again, we told you on I think I said it a long time ago, at least almost 2 years ago on Business Party Podcast. Alex Jones was the litmus test.
Yep.
Alex Jones was the litmus test to see if they could disappear you and not give you a voice. We don't know if Lauren Chen is a Russian asset. We have no idea if Tenet Media is a Russian asset or not.
Nope.
We have no idea. There's nothing that states they are. Just like the same thing with everybody else's channel. We have no idea if certain content creators like Harry Sisson are getting paid by, even though there's actual proof for it, that Harry Sisson is being paid by the DNC. Chris Mowry is being paid by the DNC. We have no idea.
Brooklyn Dad Defiant.
JoJo from Jersey.
Yep.
We have no idea. But wow, dude. Wow. They will just fucking pull you. If you don't think the government has any say in these big tech companies, and why I thank God Elon Musk, as no matter how many he's like, well, people are like, well, he's showing dead people and people. I don't give a fuck. Then, there's a way to not show that. There's a way to not show that. But Elon Musk is the only one right now. And listen, I understand he wants to put fucking chips in our brain. I get it. But I'll take the W for right now.
Well, I mean, you got Chris Pavlovsky with Rumble. I mean, they ain't fucking around with us. And we've skirted that line a lot.
Wow. Holy shit. Yeah, they don't want.
But hold on. This is where it gets interesting. Listen to this. Let's finish this off. And then I want to show y'all something.
Try to stop and flag fake accounts before the influence operations spread too widely. So it remains to be seen what impact this Russian disinformation is having. But nonetheless, this is a stance by the Biden administration to say if you're violating U.S. laws and policies, we're going to come after you. And Attorney General Merrick Garland is expected to chair a meeting of the government's election task force this afternoon, with FBI Director Chris Wray and other officials, and he may have public comments to make about this effort at that.
Yeah, at that time. However, ladies and gentlemen, let's just roll off into it. 2 RT employees indicted for covertly funding and directing U.S. company that published thousands of videos in furtherance of Russian interests. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I never watched Lauren Chen shit. And the other dude for Tenet Media. I never watched their shit. I really never cared to.
Well, who's the other dude for Tenet Media? Because I know I watch, what's his name? Johnson? Who they were saying is
Benny Johnson?
Benny Johnson. I watch Benny Johnson. I watch.
I mean, he's no worse than anybody else.
Dave Ruben. I watch Tim Pool almost every day.
Dave Ruben talking about videos on TikTok and YouTube is somehow Russian propaganda?
I don't fucking get it, dude. I don't get it. And now Ashley Sinclair.
The culture war. The culture war. There is very little actual politics on that shit.
But not for nothing. The culture war, as I understand it, is just like Trump's name. He licensed it out to Tenet Media, just like Trump licensed his name out. And it goes, hey, I want to use your name. I'll pay you $1 million. Okay. Tim gave Tenet Media the culture war because it was a nonpartisan kind of thing. They asked for it. He said, okay, which I don't understand that, because the culture war is about having Democrats and Republicans on the show, or having Democrats on the show.
Yep.
So I don't understand how you can call that Russian disinformation when you have people on the other side.
Guilt by association. I mean, that's literally what it is.
So then are they going to bring Marianne Williamson in? Are they going to bring everybody in who's been on the culture war and say that they're a Russian asset too?
Well, Marianne Williamson was on Timcast IRL, but yeah. How about that one where they asked if fucking Donald Trump was a goddamn Antichrist or if it was Elon Musk? What about the only thing you could actually ever say was political in nature and could be Russian propaganda was 2 people sitting down talking about the Russia-Ukraine war. One was for Ukraine, one was for actually Russia, and Tim was just like, I don't give a shit about any of this. I just want all my funding for this to stop. That's the only thing in that you could have actually said was Russian propaganda. That's it. But yeah, it says an indictment charging Russian national, whatever the fuck, also known as Kostya. Yeah, like you don't know. And Elena, whatever, also known as Lena, with conspiracy to violate Foreign Agent Registration Act. Wait a minute. Who else didn't register with the foreign registration?
Oh, the lady that was Kathy Hochul, the lady who worked for Kathy Hochul. It just seems so. It seems.
How about Hunter Biden, because he had Chinese fucking owned companies under his name?
It just seems that every time they get a Democrat, they go 27 times harder for a fucking Republican. And it's like 17 degrees of separation. Meanwhile, you have the actual source, like Joe Biden. If he doesn't get a new prosecutor, he doesn't get the $1 billion. Well, shit, 6 hours later, he got a new prosecutor.
$200,000 check. And the reason why it's not for the money laundering that was going on with them is because he wrote loan repayment in the memo. He was repaying his brother that was in ties with him doing this shit with Hunter Biden. Huh. Interesting how that works. But yeah, you hit up the Foreign Registration Act with all these motherfuckers. You got Chinese fucking spies in your shit. I kind of think this is actually, it's actually kind of just to cover that up. You know what I'm saying? But the Justice Department has charged 2 employees of RT, Russian state-controlled media, in a $10 million scheme to create and distribute content to the U.S. audiences with hidden Russian government messages, said Attorney General Merrick Garland. Huh. Weren't they?
Wait, you mean dog whistles? Is that what they mean by hidden Russian government messages? So they're dog whistling. You know who hears a dog whistle? A fucking dog. So if you hear the dog whistle, you're the fucking dog.
The Justice Merrick Garland, this motherfucker is the same one that they were trying to impeach, and the Senate, literally the House fucking Democrats, were able to argue high crimes is that would be genocide. Misdemeanors would be jaywalking. So if you did not commit jaywalking and you did not commit genocide, you're free to go. That they successfully were able to argue it in the House. And then once it reached the Senate, they were just like, because you did not define it, this is unconstitutional.
Well, actually, no,
you ain't doing it.
In some of those things, it was, hey, we want Merrick Garland to come to a subpoena and talk to us. We have Jim Jordan here who never served a subpoena for January 6th. We have this Chip Roy who didn't. We have this person who didn't on the Republican side. We have that. By the way, January 6th committee was never a commission committee.
Nope. It was supposed to have what? 7 Democrats, 6 Republicans, and it had like 5 Democrats and 2 Republicans.
Yeah. It was
and
never...
you had Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, which were literally handpicked by Nancy Pelosi, and the other ones that wanted to be on there, the other ones that actually volunteered to fucking be on there, you indicted them to keep them off.
Like Jim Jordan, who wanted to be in there, and they told him no, and then they subpoenaed him. You guys are fucking dumb. Like this is what fucking aggravates me about arguing with people on that side. High crimes is specific to felonies. There's a different meaning of misdemeanors here for some reasons.
That was the argument throughout the entire House, from the House Rules Committee to the Judiciary through oversight, for every fucking bit of it. That was the argument that the Democrats laid out. And Republicans were too goddamn stupid to sit there and say, so you say, you know, when he said he could walk into Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and not lose a vote, then he's free, right? Nobody picked up on that to argue that fucking point for the Republican side. That's why it was able to fucking slide through. I watched all of that shit. Even right down to appropriations fucking committee that had that in there. I watched it fucking all play out from beginning to end. And that's how they were able to successfully argue it. So that way, when it went to a democratically led Senate, they could say this is unconstitutional because you did not define what a high crime and misdemeanor was. Therefore, no. That was the whole thing behind it. But yeah, the Justice Department will not tolerate attempts by authoritarian regimes to exploit their countries free of exchange of ideas in order to covertly further its own propaganda efforts. And our investigation into this matter remains ongoing. Basically, what they're saying is Tenet Media, because Lauren Chen and the other founder were paid off by Russians who literally changed their name, set up different IDs, just had a whole fucking background like a spy kind of would, got in contact, they start Tenet Media, they get a little bit of bump in investments and, hey, do this, or hey, say this, or hey, take a look at this. What about this? That's what they're claiming. Now, I say all that because I think this is why Tenet Media got targeted. Tim Pool confirms that he is preparing a lawsuit against the Harris campaign for an extreme and egregious statement released by Kamala HQ. The Kamala HQ account falsely claimed Pool called for executing people who disagree with Trump. Quote, I am announcing that I have engaged legal counsel. We are preparing a lawsuit against the Kamala Harris campaign due to defamatory statement posted on X. We have discussed this issue at length. We intend to file a lawsuit. All I can do is inform you that we have begun this process and I fully intend to see it taken to this degree. In his own words.
Due to a defamatory statement posted on X, which is extreme, egregious, and I just got to say outright psychotic in accusing me personally, as well as Laura Loomer, but we are two separate individuals, of calling for unchecked legal power so that they, meaning Trump and his allies, can jail and execute anyone who doesn't support Trump if he wins, which is a...
Hold on. You remember Mad Cow saying that Trump wants to put the media on trial because he wants to execute her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me play that back.
Which is extreme, egregious, and I just got to say outright psychotic in accusing me personally, as well as Laura Loomer, but we are two separate individuals, of calling for unchecked legal power so that they, meaning Trump and his allies, can jail and execute anyone who doesn't support Trump if he wins.
Call back to the Mad Cow shit.
Which is a shocking and egregious lie that goes so far beyond the pale. I just can't even. It's shocking and downright insane. This, of course, this tweet came over the weekend, Labor Day. Immediately, I contacted my legal team and furious.
Hold on. You may be right, Joe. You may be actually right. However, defamation is incredibly hard to prove. But when you got a candidate sitting here saying, hey, Project 2025, that is not linked to Trump in any damn way, says they're doing this, and here's a proof, and they use your shit, and then say they scrubbed it from the internet because Laura Loomer, well, fuck YouTube. I don't care, because Laura Loomer said, hey, people that actually committed treason
back in the
they
day,
got the death penalty.
Back in the day, she said, back in the day, when you were convicted of treason, you got the death penalty.
Right.
Hold on one second.
And he took it down because for him, it pushes that fucking line. But that's what they wanted. Yeah. Why does it? Yeah, there we go. But let's keep going.
My family is furious. The tweet in question refers to me as a Trump operative. I do not work for the Trump campaign. I've never received any money from the Trump campaign or Trump PACs. We have received no outside investment for this show, for anything related to Timcast Media Group. We received no outside investment. It's all been funded from the ground up from the start of my original podcast, youtube.com/.
I actually believe him on this. I'm going to be fucking honest with you. I actually believe him. With the super chats this motherfucker gets, he makes thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars every night in super chats alone.
Sorry, Madison called, and the only reason why she called is to see the baby. So I just ran my phone up to Amanda so she could see the baby.
But yeah, I 100% believe him when he says everything that he's doing is funded by himself. Yeah. He only licensed the culture war out to Tenet Media. He still has control of it. It's made in his studio by his people. You've even heard Serge in the background say some shit when he's producing. You know, there's other people that do it too. There ain't no goddamn way in hell you can claim anything he does is Russian disinformation, except for the fact that you got him out there screaming, Ukraine is the enemy of the United States, but we will get into why he actually feels that way. Hold on.
Timcast, as well as my personal savings. The tweet goes on to say that I have a Project 2025 plan. I am in no way associated with Project 2025, though I've interviewed some of the people who are associated with Project 2025 and have been involved. Timcast is not, has not, and will not be a part of or in any way related to Project 2025. Nor have I ever called for anyone to have unchecked legal authority. And I will stress this because this is the most shockingly offensive part of what they said. And I'm jumping right to it right away, so I don't waste your time because I have a lot to talk about. I am opposed to the death penalty in all circumstances.
He has said it multiple damn times. It is not right for you to take a life just because somebody else has done so. That's morally reprehensible to him. He stands that fucking ground, and he will never let go of that.
And I've actually changed my position on that because unfortunately, I believe the same thing because of the way our government works. I don't trust him. I don't fucking trust him. When you put somebody in jail,
what is the point? What is the point of trying to weed out corruption when all they have to fear is being fired and people shame them publicly for a few years and then it goes away and you live your life peacefully? What stops the next motherfucker from picking up that torch? I'm serious. I have to ask that question because if all I have to fear is being fired, what stops me from going in there and getting my bag off your dime, America? What stops me from running for office and being everything that we've been railing against here? Maybe a sense of morality, but that's about it. So if you don't have that moral code to be like, why the hell am I actually just going to sit here and talk about all this shit? And then I run for office and then get in and do the exact same thing. What stops me?
I tweaked.
Being fired or getting 2 to 4 years and voted out?
Where did he say that? He didn't say that.
He has never fucking said any of that.
He said he would do that for child molesters, but not drug dealers.
But yeah, let's keep going.
Have argued against the death penalty in every circumstance. I do not trust the government to decide who gets to live and die, and I will never support the death penalty or any type of executions. For that matter, the clip in question posted by the Kamala campaign.
However, this motherfucker's falling off the fence now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, when you have the United States government headed by the people who you at one point supported,
right,
and rah-rahed for, and now they're coming. Once again, this is why when they call the right a cult.
Wait, Don. I'm going to show you why he's dramatic as shit with all this.
When you call the right a cult, but yet if you don't agree with the left 1,001%, and even when you do agree with the left 1,001%, you say one thing that steps out of line, they want you excommunicated. When you have your own voice, when you have your own thought process, when you say, hey, maybe you
have a point that this man is shoving his hang-dang in a child's face. Maybe you might have a point on these little pride parades. Maybe we should pull it back a bit. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. You're a Russian propagandist. Oh, we'll get to that, Gypsy, on the other side. We're going to get to that.
This is like Russian propagandist kind of thing is literally the transphobe situation, because maybe we shouldn't do this has now been Russia propaganda because you ain't rah for fucking Ukraine. But let's continue.
Was literally me arguing against the idea of the death penalty, telling Laura Loomer that she was wrong. These individuals did not commit treason. More likely sedition, but there is a lot to break down in exactly what this post is.
Hold on.
And so I just wanted to make sure I started immediately.
Hold on, I just got this. Share this instead. June 5th of 2024, Donald Trump, unless there is a death penalty for drug dealers, you will never solve the problem.
And here is part 2 of my interview from just a few hours. You've had to do.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to listen to that 7 fucking minutes. I will keep that on deck though.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that. But
by addressing what we are doing.
Thank
so
you,
I will
Wild Child.
stress one more time.
I want to say without that, thank you, Wild Child.
I have engaged legal counsel. There's only so much you can do over Labor Day weekend. Had it been during
Maybe Yoholo was actually right.
Maybe he might be.
the week, we would have probably filed in the immediate, but hopefully by today, I can give you an update. My intention is to immediately file a lawsuit and approach every legally correct avenue to do that. And so I will stress one more time. So far, I've contacted my legal counsel. We have discussed the issue at length. We intend to file a lawsuit. The reason why I say intend is I'm not exactly sure. I'm not a lawyer myself. All I can do is inform you that we have begun this process, and I fully.
You get it. However,
And by the way,
I want to show you this.
I just want to
Go
tell
ahead.
Yoho, we have no problem being wrong. If
No.
we're wrong, we're wrong. Like I'll fucking say it, you're absolutely right, and I'll disagree with it. If Trump says drug dealers need to be fucking the death penalty, that's wrong.
Yeah, that's going way too fucking
that's
far.
way too fucking far.
Unless you're like fentanyl fucking level kind of drug dealer pushing shit into the country, maybe you might actually have an argument with that because you know these motherfuckers they're gonna get out and go right back into the same shit.
But no, if you're
like street level pushers, nah.
Yeah, no, I don't even agree with that. I don't even agree with the fucking top level guys getting the death penalty. Like it's drugs. I mean, yes, once again, I will state this on my own. If you do enough drugs to kill yourself, fentanyl excluded because it is what it is, the tiny bit, that's on fucking you.
What's up, Betty Block?
What up, Betty? Like today, a rapper died of an overdose. That's on fucking him. Okay? If you die of an overdose, that's on you. You chose to do that. No one's even if fentanyl laced anything, there's, especially nowadays, there's weed dispensaries. If you want weed, go to a fucking dispensary. Yeah, it's more expensive.
11 states can have it shipped to your fucking house as long as it's THCA.
Yeah. You can actually get shrooms in certain states.
Jennifer, I'm about to prove to you why he is not choosing his battle poorly. He is just misrepresenting himself poorly. But yeah, there it is. Okay.
It's one of those things. Like, I'm sorry, if you want to do cocaine, you take the risks.
Right.
If you want to buy illegal drugs, you take the fucking risks. Sorry, and I'm sorry for anybody who's had had somebody die from that. They knew the consequences. If I go out and I buy cocaine and I die, listen, I had a good time.
Look, my ass was drugged with goddamn MDMA at a Bonnaroo concert. MDMA is Molly. It's like the pure form of Molly, right? I was drugged with that because I smoked fucking weed with some random dude at a concert. I lost my fucking senses like 15, 20 fucking minutes later. Wound up front row at a Flaming Lips concert with an orgy going on and a fucking mud puddle behind me. And I don't even know how the fuck I got there. I'm watching this concert go down. I come back to my senses. There's a whole ass orgy going on behind me in a mud puddle. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Jennifer, listen.
I made bad choices. I made bad decisions. Could something fucking happen to me? Yeah. I don't know what happened to me.
Once again, yes, I get that. But we are no longer in back when it was in the 80s and 90s. Mm-mm. We're not there anymore. We're not.
Your weed is more concentrated. Even the shit that you can buy legally is more concentrated. You have to be more sparing with it. You can't be Snoop Dogg smoking fucking blunts in the cat every second of the day anymore with it. It will cause problems. Why? Because it's overdosing. It is on the verge of overdosing. It is actually rewriting your fucking brain. But those are people who are actually going through that, like smoking heavily.
And yeah. I'm telling you, Jennifer, I understand that. I believe that. But it's one of those things. If you're gonna do something,
you have every legal means at your disposal. There are very few states where you can't actually go to a dispensary or find it locally. You may have to drive a bit of a distance, but there were very few fucking states. And yes, if you were in those states, if you travel back with it, you will be busted. You will go to jail if you're caught with it. But
And
it
not
is
for-
too readily available in a safe situation for you to just be buying it from your homie across the street.
And not for nothing, I know people who do those kind of drugs, and they test their shit. Like literally, there's a test for it. You can test to see whether or not it has it in it. So like there's ways to get around it. And yeah, like once again, yeah, I understand that. It isn't the fault that it's the person's fault. But once again, they're doing illegal drugs. They're buying things off the street. Don't buy shit. Listen.
Good one, Joe. Good one.
God damn it, Joe. God damn it, Joseph.
I mean, my asshole wasn't sore any other time after that. So
yeah, they do have kits. So if you want to be safe about it, once again, I have gotten to the point in my life where I'm like, dude, if you're gonna buy illegal drugs, you run the risks because you know what's going on out there. You know, it's one of those things. You run the risk. Do it. Buy it legally. There's a lot of shit you can buy legally now.
Right.
And you don't need to get illegally. Yeah, it costs more money and it's taxed the fuck, but you know you're not going to die from it.
Right. But let's go ahead and pull this back because we're running out of time here on YouTube. And I'm going to get through this whole thing.
I told you we weren't going to get through.
I want to, well, we've gone off tangent after fucking tangent. Like this 40 minutes we've been here, like maybe 10, 15 has been us. But yeah, I'm going to get back to this because this is the only thing like everybody's showing about Tim Pool here, about how he's a Russian propagandist. And I'm going to explain to you why he has gotten to this fucking point. He's one of the people I listen to. I don't listen to everything he fucking says. Oh, he cut it. I don't listen to everything he says. I listen to the IRL because he has some cool ass guests on and they have some real conversations, kind of like what we're having right now, open and organic as hell. They may talk about it behind the scenes, which we don't, but when it goes live, it's a real conversation. That's it. That's what IRL is with his stuff, with his videos and things. Okay, so in a 20-minute video, the first 5 to 7 minutes, maybe information, and he kicks off into maybe a little counterpoint, and then the rest is just, yeah. But you're going to sit here and tell me that this is the only thing you have to say he's a Russian propagandist?
Know it. But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine. They are expanding this war. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you've got criminal elements of the U.S. government pushing them and guiding them and telling them what to do. Ukraine is now accused, a German warrant issued for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, triggering this conflict. Ukraine is the greatest threat to this nation and to the world. We should rescind all funding and financing, pull out all military support, and we should apologize to Russia. Know it.
Now, this sounds bad, right? But I want to hit this. This is actually the indictment. Founder 1, Founder 2. I should have brought this up earlier. Founder 1, Founder 2 contracted with Commentator 1, and Commentator 2 to produce videos using Commentator 1 and Commentator 2's own name, leveraging their existence audiences for licensed publication by U.S. company blah, blah, blah. Founder 1, Founder 2 worked together with U.S. company 1's true source of funding, RT, by falsely portraying the Commentator 1 and Commentator 2 that the U.S. company 1 was sponsored by a private investor named Edward Guerin or whatever the fuck. The baby. Yeah. So they lied. They lied about the funding. They lied about who they were. They lied about everything to the founders of Tenet Media to get behind the scenes to fund them money. For what? How is this Russian propaganda? Because Tim might have said that. Like I said, I don't know Lauren Chen shit. I don't know the other person. I don't even know who the other person for Tenet Media fucking was.
Who was the other person?
I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter to me because I see this as an actual fucking hit. I see this as a government fucking hit job.
Yeah.
But I should have brought that up earlier. And this one as well when we had that government or that
Don,
Merrick Garland thing.
Don't take that. That's an anti-seizure drug. Trust me. I'm on pain meds myself because my back is deteriorated from working at a job for so long.
We got to show the babies. Oh, look, she's awake too. She's like, fuck it. I'm just here. I exist at this point.
Wait.
She's like, nah.
Dude, she's like, she gives me the no. Gives me the right. Do you want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi?
Hey. I mean, she can't see shit, but oh.
Yeah,
she's already trying. Look at that. She's grabbing that microphone. She's making sound.
She grabs she grabs a bottle and everything. She's like, hey.
She's done. She's about to sleep. She's done.
No, she's not. She's not about to sleep. She's micro-feeding right now. She's only feeding a little bit at a while.
But she's
hey,
so
you want to say
cute.
something? Hey, you want to talk? You want to say something? You want to tell the world? Hi, how are you? Follow us and please subscribe so I have a college fund. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel
Fuck a
on
college
Rumble.
fund. We're doing better than that.
So I can go to trade school because I'm not going to go to college. Microfeeding is like she'll drink. So she's supposed to drink 2 ounces, but she'll only drink like an ounce or a half an ounce. And then every hour, and then she'll sleep for like an hour, and then she'll wake up every hour. So she's like microfeeding. So she'll eat a little bit, wake up, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up. So yeah. So please do whatever you can to subscribe to this channel on Rumble or YouTube, and so that way I can go to welding school later on. What are you doing? Oh,
she looks done with your shit.
She literally
just like
she literally pushed the mic away. She's like, nah, fuck this.
She's like, the fuck is he doing? No.
No.
But yeah, let's get back to what we were doing here. But yeah, I should have played this earlier, but I didn't. This is Merrick Garland in answering a question about this situation.
And some other outlets here mocking the situation. They had 5 bullet points or 6 bullet points. The first said, ha, 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 ha. 2016 wants its cliches back. In all seriousness, there is a subsection of the country that when they hear Russian interference, they may believe that it's not true. It's not a real thing. How do you assure people this is a real situation? I'm using some other outlets here.
Oh, is that your fucking... Oh, you just asked the question. Shit. But yeah, he says some dumb shit. I should have grabbed that anyway, but I was meant to grab the whole thing. It just never happened. Yeah, we've already seen that, but yeah. I want y'all to understand this is what you're going to be seeing on fucking social media with this shit. Per the DOJ and other sources, Tenet Media bankrollers of prominent pro-Russia commentators such as Lauren Chen, Tim Pool, Dave Ruben, and Benny Johnson are alleged to have received millions from Russia state media to spread propaganda, pro-Russia propaganda in the United States. I'd say it's surprising, but it's not. I want to Where the fuck is it? Go back to that. Where it says the commentators actually had no fucking clue what was happening with this because everything was misrepresented by Founder 1 and Founder 2.
Well, let's go back in time to 2 months ago.
Read this letter for you so I can give you the full context. But suffice it to say that when you are anti-war, when you believe the United States should justify its wars, should declare war, they make you the enemy. Why? As I stated in my earlier segment, the United States is a vassal of the multinational military industrial complex. We are a vassal state, as evidenced by the fact that if but a humble whinger on the internet, simply explain my opinion when asked, makes me an enemy, impeding their funding, which comes out of my pocket, your pocket, and is, well, to be fair, through modern monetary theory, basically just strips the buying power of the American citizen. If I just say, here's how I think, they're going to put together this, let's say, here are the people who are in our way. Who's them? The international military elite, these foreign volunteers who go and perpetuate this war that I have to pay for. You know, there's this video that I was showing earlier, or I was playing the audio from, and one of the guys who, the video's from an interview recorded of these volunteers. So you're not getting paid? Who's covering the supply of your weapons? Who's covering the cost of your gear? Did you pay for all of it? Let's have that conversation. Because I will tell you this right now, and I'd be willing to bet most of you agree. The volunteers who are receiving weapons, training, food, water, shelter, whatever, that money comes from somewhere, and it's coming out of our pockets. And that pisses me off. So I say this. How about you give me that money back? The money that you stole from us. We didn't vote for this. You know, the American people don't want this. Overwhelmingly. You ask the average person, I don't even know, but it's being stripped from our pockets, and we are cursed with knowledge. You and I, we understand what's going on with this waste of money in a faraway land that we don't know or care about, and they try to justify why we should. Spare me. We live in different worlds, ladies and gentlemen, and you don't get to take from my labor out of my pocket or anyone else's unless you justify the purpose of this war to the faces of the American people. Instead, they say, the American people are stupid. Let them pay the taxes. Let them lose their buying power, struggle to pay their rent, so we can send billions upon billions, hundreds of billions of our labor for Ukraine. There you go.
And in this video, it
I
goes
believe
on.
Not paying your taxes is a peaceful protest.
That's about as peaceful as it's ever going to get with the government.
I think so. It's a peaceful protest if you don't pay your federal income tax. Because
But I will say this.
You'll probably get in trouble. But if enough people do it,
I mean, how the hell are you going to
single one of us.
prosecute half the fucking country? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to have a bigger problem within the fucking judicial system trying to prosecute half the country for not paying their fucking taxes and locking up half the country for not paying their taxes. By the way, Hunter Biden pled guilty. I wonder how that's going to work. Anyway.
You can claim exempt on one of your taxes, just to let you know. And once again, are some people going to go to jail? Yeah. But they can't get every single one of us. You can, it's not a, once again, it might not be a valid reason, but it's a grievance against the United States government.
You ain't heard a grievance fucking one. I mean, May 29th, 20 you had motherfuckers trying to kill Donald Trump because they thought he was a racist. Did you hear the grievance then? Then you had January 6th, where overwhelmingly on Rumble, we have pointed out how and why the actual voter fraud that is now coming out, nobody's fucking talking about, actually happened. Did you hear the grievance then? Or was that a fucking federal setup because we know what the fuck that was. But in this video right here, he goes on how there was a Ukrainian non-governmental organization that put him, Jack Posobiec, and a whole bunch of other motherfucking people that are in independent fucking media, kind of like what we're doing right now. They're enemies of the Ukrainian fucking government because they're detractors of the fucking war and they're impeding the flow of your federal funds. They're impeding the flow by actually telling you what's really going on instead of the fluff the mainstream media gives you. But this goes even further fucking back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget the illegally constituted January 6th committee used this motherfucker's video as a way to say he incited the shit that happened on the Capitol on January 6th. This comes from his own damn lie. Right after the intro, Tim Pool smeared in J6 committee hearing. Let's go with Adrian Curry, Libby Emmons.
Mediaite.
Oh my.
It's going to be a red wedding. January 6th committee airs clips of extremists calling for violence after Trump promised wild protest. You ready? It says, during its hearing on Tuesday.
You know this shit is fucking old because Lydia's still there. If you know anything about Tim Pool, she quit a long fucking time ago. There's a whole little scandal about who did who and what happened in that. But yeah.
Who did what?
Showed former President Donald Trump.
I mean, Eliza Blue's not the only scandal he's got.
December 19th, 2020 tweet calling on his supporters to come to Washington the day Congress would certify Joe Biden's electoral victory. Be there, will be wild. The committee then showed clips of fringe pro-Trump commentators, including Alex Jones and Tim Pool, responding excitedly to Trump's call. It also showed clips of extremists calling for violence on January 6th. Okay, so they do separate Alex Jones and me from being extremists. I'm surprised. I assume they would have called Alex Jones an extremist, but they call us fringe pro-Trump commentators. Fringe? At the time of that, we were the #1 political show on YouTube with 120 million views per month. Well, I should say it was around 100. And then with podcast views, these leftists were making these charts showing like all the right-wing channels. And then Tim Pool was like massively above
What's
that.
Happening here?
Fringe. That's the only thing I take issue with.
That's not fair.
People are hitting me up and they're like, "Are you mad? They're calling you pro-Trump?" And I'm like, "I voted for the guy. What do you like? What
Be
am I-"
flattered when they hate you. It means you're doing everything.
I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this motherfucker was actually talking about going to January 6th, doing like a mobile stream from January 6th. And then he started hearing little reports about, you know, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. He pointed out Antifa was actually going to show the fuck up at January 6th. He pointed out that shit.
Can I say,
and then he's like, I ain't going. I urge every single one of you to stay the fuck away because this sounds like it's going to be wild. And that's the fucking clip they used in the January 6th committee.
Can I say I had a huge crush on Adrian Curry back in the day when she was with the fucking guy from the Brady Bunch. And then now, as of late, and I've seen her, she is like off the grid, kind of. And my crush for her has gotten like 37 times more better. Like she's just Adrian Curry is one of she was an America's top like model winner. She was an American top model fucking winner, you know, and then she was just in the public eye for a long time, and then she disappeared. And like she took her fake boobs out and everything like that, and now she's in the middle of the woods with her husband, and they're just off the grid. Like they're just what's it called when you're like off the grid now? They have a name for those people.
Homeless?
No, they're like homesteaders. That's what it is. She's a fucking homesteader now. And she's like, yeah, guys, listen. Everything that was led to believe is a fucking lie. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Is this what it's like when someone falls in love with another conspiracy theorist? And then, listen, that's why I love my wife. Like my wife is is the same way. Like my wife has had a relationship with a girl, like a 2-year relationship with a girl. And so like she's been through a lot of shit. And so, like, when my wife starts to see things the way I see it, and I'm like, I gotcha. I fucking gotcha. I love it. I
Well,
love
look,
it. And
I
it's
will
funny
say
because
this.
nobody understands that. Like, nobody understands. Like, they just see me. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, you're just white," and like, no. First of all, I'm Hispanic, so don't get it twisted. Second of all, my wife used to be in. Well, she still is, but she was in a lesbian relationship. So we run the gamut. Yeah. Oh yeah. We run the fucking gamut. So don't try to fucking sit there and pigeonhole me into a certain kind of thing or my wife into a certain kind of thing. Because you're going to fucking lose, dude. You're going to fucking lose. You have no idea who we are. What up, pretty antisocial? Hi, girls.
Y'all are cutting in at the wrong fucking time because
we about to go to Rumble!
I will say this, though. As far as Tim Pool goes, there's a lot about that motherfucker I actually do talk mad shit about. But in this case, I don't think he deserves the fucking shit he's getting right now. However, I don't think Benny Johnson does either. And I damn sure don't think that Dave Ruben does, because all he was doing was just bouncing off fucking TikTok videos like the comment section for Daily Wire. Didn't work out long. You can't fucking say that they have anything to do with it. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and throw the Rumble link in all of the chats.
Hi, Mama J. Let's get ready to rumble. You have.
I'm not letting you get away with that. I'm not letting you. We're coming back 3 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream narrative has become cancerous to society. Currently, there is no known cure, but doses of other treatments have shown some promising results. Off-label use has been authorized.